Oh, man, what a delay. What is going on with the delay on StreamYard? I just look like a schmuck sitting there looking at the light, getting ready to hit go live again. This is ridiculous. Win Daily Sports, as always, you know we were looking at NBA DFS show. It's the 3-peat tonight. Thanks for the guys hold it down last night with Adam and Nick. I'm Tony. Obviously, we got the community checking in. We got 11 games tonight. I watched the bloodbath last night. In my opinion, had to watch Doc Rivers screw the entire game up. I don't want to hear one thing I want to tell everybody. First of all, follow Win Daily Sports, obviously. And number two, I don't want to hear any Jokic versus Embiid talk today, because if not, you're going to see Jigsaw go Jigsaw crazy, and I don't want to talk about it. So let's just get into these 11 games, because, again, there's a lot of different things tonight, a lot of different things going on. We're getting late in the game. I think there's a lot of interesting core, but let's get right to it. Let's go, Coors. It's 5:45. We want to get these lineups in. Adam, I'm going to start with you. Obviously, Jokic.
It's a player who's not allowed to be named leading off.
That's okay. And we can at least say it in that perspective. I just don't want to hear MVP talk. That's all.
You probably shouldn't read the article because I definitely mentioned it, but at any rate,
eyes are not looking at that damn article.
I wrote last night, literally the first name I went to click on was Nikola Jokic. This game is the highest total on the slate. They're only 9.5-point favorites. I think we've learned through the season Denver is typically not good enough to blow just about anybody out, even when Jokic is playing well. There is nobody in that front court who can possibly stand with him the whole night. I mean, Batatse, I think, is going to play. He was questionable, game time decision. Great. He's the only 7-footer in that lineup. Everyone else is 6'10" or under. There's just no reason for Jokic to not be one of the first guys in your lineup. And for some reason, nobody wants to play him. Like, I don't understand it. He's under 14% on DK right now. That's mind-blowing to me. I don't get it at all.
Yeah, like, people out there, who you playing?
I'm playing Jokic. I know that, and I'm not gonna even hesitate. OG Anunoby, he's just gonna be on the floor so much. Back to 40 minutes. Yeah, last game went to overtime. I'll still take 35 at 5,700. He's up against a team that has the third highest frequency of 3-point attempts allowed in Minnesota. That's generally where you're going to find the ceiling for Anunoby if he's hitting a few threes, steal here, block there. He's going to be needed, on the defensive end. 5,700 is just not an accurate price point for him. And then we get into the Rockets value. The Rockets shut down Dennis Schroeder, Christian Wood, Eric Gordon. They shut down half their team because suddenly they're too good and they're not in the lead for the worst record anymore. Alperen Sengun's unlikely to play. I mean, what kind of rationale do they even have to make him play? He missed the entire fourth quarter last game. Sengun's not playing tonight. There's no reason for it. So Josh Christopher, Usman Garuba, all these value guys for the Rockets, man, they're just all over ownership. And I can't argue. I mean, Jason Tate, KJ Martin, the two that I have in my lineup, you want at least two Rocket value plays tonight, in my opinion.
I completely listen. I mean, when you shut it all down like that, it reminds me of back in the day. It reminds me of the Sixers tanking days, man. Like,
the process, you know what I mean? The process.
Exactly. TTP. I mean, it's exactly what it reminds you of. I mean, that's what happens. So you got to look at these games and you got to look at that and you got to understand again. But Adam's right. I mean, we talked about this on the show. I think it was the three of us. We talked about it when it was just me and Ghost. But yes, you want your exposure, but that doesn't mean you put your entire lineup full of Rockets. Like we have to be careful, man. We have to be careful.
You still don't want like 6,
Right. Like, pick your poison, man. Pick your poison. Matthew checking this is off topic, but I see some Phillies apparel. That's from me. I'm the Philly guy. Ghost, your smile says, I hear Ghost loves Aaron Nola. I'm thinking that's a little sarcastic comment there.
Yeah, that's one of my best friends. It tunes into all our shows. So thanks, Mango, for tuning in again, buddy. Appreciate you. But we were talking MLB draft because our draft is on next Tuesday, by the way. We're at 10 p.m. Way past my bedtime.
Wait a minute.
Way past my bedtime.
How's this working? Me and Adam aren't drafting for you.
Ghost is gonna be on auto draft.
My bedtime. But I'm doing it anyways. It's fine. It's gonna be rough at the gym Wednesday morning. But I was telling him I have 4th pick in our keeper draft, and with all the keepers that are out there, the pool is pretty thin. And I was like, hey, if these 3 guys are gone, I might be going with this guy. And I was like, you know what? I just refuse to draft Aaron Nola. So that's why he's telling me I love Aaron Nola, because I told him I refuse to draft Aaron Nola no matter what.
I'll tell you, man, it's hard for me to disagree with you. It really is. I don't know what he's going to do, but I'm telling you, it doesn't look good. It never looks good. I just want to know what happened, man. Like, not to get off, but what the hell happened? I don't get it.
I don't either.
It's
he
crazy.
He had that spurt where he was just like an absolute stud ace, and then it's never been right since. Really, you'll get a game here and there, but there's no consistency, no nothing.
Nothing. And again, I mean, think about it. Before we signed Wheeler, he's the ace. Like, it was always Aaron Nola and everybody else. I mean, thank God they signed Wheeler.
Yeah, it could have been ugly otherwise.
Yeah, it really could have. Go right back into the cores. Go ahead. What's that, Adam?
Oh no, go ahead.
No, I thought you said something. I'm sorry.
No, I'm good.
Ghost. Listen, I think you're going to see, obviously, a lot of cohesion between the three of us tonight. Jokic, no question. I like the Brunson. He's Brunson, right? He's another guy's going to have monster minutes tonight, right?
Yeah, I just gave you guys my entire lineup, so I'm not going to list them out. But that's all 8 slots on DK, so I'm not going to list all 8 individual guys. But this is my entire build. It's Joker, it's Brunson, 2 Rockets, 2 Thunders, 2 Kings. That's what it is.
I have Brunson, a Rocket, or 2 Rockets, a Thunder, and a King. So we're definitely right on the same page tonight.
Yeah, it's just look, the Houston-Sacramento game is really gross, but it's what it is. And the OKC is probably going to be down to 7 guys again. They're probably going to have to play guys like Vit Krejci. You know what I mean? Like, it's just what it is. So it's late season NBA. Got to adapt. And I am going Brunson because with Spencer Dinwiddie out, I'm not going to be playing Luka. But I do want some exposure to the Mavs. So I'm going Jalen Brunson, who will be logging some serious minutes tonight, because I do think that the Mavs pull away with this one. Barely any front court left for the Cavs too, outside of Kevin Love. So should be a winnable game for them, especially with Denver right on their tail there, and in terms of seeding. And Utah is obviously still in the conversation as well, even though, again, like we were saying on the show yesterday, Adam, they were playing like absolute dog booty. So it's
that was a hideous loss, and there was definitely some passive aggressive comments from players after the game too. Rudy Gobert,
that's what it is.
Apparently, not very pleased with some of his teammates.
Honestly, like I love bringing out these takes like pretty much year round, but this is when I really started dropping them. And I think in the off season, one of Rudy Gobert or Donovan Mitchell get traded to the Knicks. For a combination of Julius Randle and Emmanuel Quickly.
Yeah, I would not be surprised. I think
Utah is obsessed with having 4 guards that can be starters. So they have Clarkson, they have Mitchell. If Conley, unfortunately, is still going to be there. So and they got to replace Joe Ingles now. So Quickly could be that guy. I don't think that they're too high on Nickeil Alexander-Walker, even though they should be. He's a very talented individual, but I think they make a move. I think Gobert gets shipped out, man. They end up going smaller because he just gets run off the court every single time, and he's not Defensive Player of the Year. I don't care what anyone says. He's not Defensive Player of the Year. He shouldn't even be a finalist. He shouldn't even be a finalist. Guy gets cooked, bro. He gets cooked, and it is so funny to watch. And everyone's like, oh, he's Defensive Player of the Year almost every year. He's really not. So I think with him getting run off the court every single game, I think Gobert ends up in New York for a combination of Julius Randle Quickly, like something like that. I have a feeling it's gonna happen. You have to do whatever it takes to keep Donovan Mitchell. So
something's got to give in that franchise, and it's going to be tough to get.
It absolutely has to.
Like, that contract's not going to be the easiest to move. Like, I know the Knicks can make it work and everything, but that Rudy Gobert contract might look real ugly here in a real short form.
Well, he's on a max too, right? So it's like that's where Julius Randle would come into play, and there's also a better chance that people want to play with Rudy Gobert than there are people wanting to play with Julius Randle, right? So it works for both teams. Yeah, Lakers out of the playing game is literally Christmas morning. I'm so pumped.
Love it.
I'm so
take that,
pumped.
LeBron.
I'm so pumped. Like I still obviously root for LeBron. I want to do well, but like the Lakers fan base, Jimmy, I'm sorry, bro beans, but the Lakers fan base are so obnoxious sometimes, man, depending on interactions and this, that on socials and just all over the place. Lakers fans are something else. So
Remember when they
it's
were
gonna
going to
be
get
nice.
Miles Turner and like 6 picks for Taylor Horton Tucker? That was fun.
Yeah,
time.
they also wanted they wanted Tatum, Jaylen Brown,
Yeah.
Robert Williams, and Marcus Smart, and like 7 firsts for Kendrick Nunn and THT. So surprised they didn't pull
the trigger there, man.
Would have been a steal for Boston, but that's what it is, man. That organization's absolutely cooked. I again, like another one of those takes there. I think the move, and it pains me to say this because I'm a big AD guy. He's one of the most talented.
They have to move him. There's no other route.
I call it like I see it, and we said it last time. I think it was one of the last shows I did with Michael actually, and I was like, if I was making a top 10 player list right now, Anthony Davis would not be on it, and I still feel that way. I still feel that way, obviously, but when he's active, he's definitely on that list, if not on the top 5 list.
Right.
And the thing is that there's going to be somebody out there that's going to pay a lot for him.
Yep.
So I think if you obviously LeBron's the one that makes the call, but once they ditch Westbrook this offseason, and if you're looking to make some crazy moves to try and get one last championship with LeBron, the move might be to trade AD for another superstar.
And like I'm sure they're going to want to get rid of Westbrook. The man's owed $47 million. Like, I don't know if you're going to be able to move that.
I think they will. I really think they'll be able to. There's going to be somebody out there because it's all about at the end of the day, like an acquisition like that is more like, hey, we could win games, and you end up selling more tickets, and you end up selling a ton of jerseys. Anywhere Westbrook goes, you're going to sell a ton of jerseys. And then
will you after this year though?
Yeah, 100%. There's a lot of Westbrook fans out there.
Westbrook jerseys.
There's a lot of Westbrook fans out there, man.
I would have agreed with you before this year. I think heading into next year, I think there's more question than there's ever been on that end of it. I'll be honest.
I just think the price goes down. I just think the price goes down a lot. It's obviously not.
They might be paying.
We do have to see what. Yeah, we have to see what Houston wants to do with John Wall as well. That's another heavy contract that has to get moved this offseason too. So there's gonna be a market for guys like that for sure.
The only way for the Lakers to actively get better heading in next year is going to be Anthony Davis. They do not have other routes because any Westbrook trade is just going to be trying to mash spare parts into the mix.
100%. And they're gonna likely have to take on a bad contract too, right? In return to make the money work. So it's just
definitely.
It's just it's a lot of fun seeing the Lakers in shambles right now. That's for sure. And on top of that,
I'm enjoying it. I'm not.
DeJounte Murray deserves to be in the playoffs too. So
yeah, no, you're right about that. Yeah, you're right about that. I agree. I listen. I will tell you this, and this is a little off topic, still basketball related, but before we get to some props and numbers, but last night, and again, I'm going to be fully transparent. Sometimes when you're in this kind of business and you're trying to do so many different things, you kind of fall a little, back watching certain players and certain games. And being in the arena last night, I'll tell you what, man, Giannis, it has really elevated his game more than I thought. I mean, he was doing monster. He was doing Jordan fadeaways.
The two dribbles. Like, what? The two dribbles from I'll call it the half line. It was even before that.
That was ridiculous.
Right at the half court. That was absolutely wild, and that's exactly when I turned off the TV. I was like, this game's over.
I was one, and my son's not here right now, but he's going to hit me later at work when he gets home because I said Giannis last year. I was like, Giannis overrated, man. He's overrated. And my son was like, you're out of your mind, Dad. I was like, I'm serious. I don't see it. I'll tell you what, boys. Last night, I freaking seen it.
Your son was on the money a year early.
You can't defend him in the post at all.
You really
and especially with someone that big and that strong, you would think that he would be a pure post player, like somebody that's gonna have to hit you with a Hakeem Olajuwon, bang bang, you know what I mean? It's got to be something like that. And he's like, no, this man's coming at you running 40 miles an hour in transition, and you can't stop it. There's no way you could stop that.
No. Listen, I was in awe last night. I was a fan last night. I was, but I will say,
Then he
listen,
comes out post game and cracks it like he had a book. Did you guys see that? He had a book.
yeah.
And it was literally a book that says dad jokes on it. And he's just reading out jokes. He's reading out a joke like before his press conference. It was the funniest thing. Just seems like the chillest dude. But yeah,
I was gonna say he's got to be one of the easiest guys in the league to actually like.
Yep.
If only they had a real number 3 option that wasn't Chris Middleton, they'd win 5 championships in a row.
Chris Middleton.
You know,
did you see Chris Middleton last night? Now you understand. Like you.
Oh
see
yeah, I've always
from.
thought he was a stiff. I was never a Chris Middleton guy.
He is. Like you
By the
had
way,
2
that's
Chris
the
Middletons
comment.
on the court.
You're blocked. Just throwing it out there. That's the comment that gets you blocked, bro.
We established last night that's Ghost Burner because it's Cowboys Nation. And he was talking about Spicy P last night.
And he was talking about Siakam last night.
Yeah,
like,
what's going on here? You get the block button
That's
quick,
literally
bro.
my brain.
All I gotta say.
Awesome. That's hilarious.
Yeah, if only they had a real number 3 option that wasn't Chris Middleton.
I know.
They'd be unstoppable.
They would. Because you know what? You look at the way the team's structured. They're deep too on the bench, and that's the thing. So yeah, you can't have Chris Middleton as your number 2 option. But I mean, hey, it is what it is. Look who's talking. I got enough problems in Sixer land. So
yeah, you have your own Chris Middleton. He wears a Harris jersey out there.
Yeah. You know what though? I will say something. Tobias, the last couple of games have looked a little different. So we'll see. We'll see. Listen, for 40+ million, I think I can hit a jump shot too. So we'll see. Let's get back to the court. And the court, you're going to see exactly the same as everybody else. Guys, I just have one difference. And again, I always, pivot to you guys as well.
It's not different. I'll leave it at that.
What's that?
I said it's not that different. I'll leave it at that.
Yeah. So here's what I'm looking at. So when I do it, and like Adam says, we look at the projection models, look at the ownership numbers, and I always try to be a little different. Yes, I play my stud lineup, but I also try to do other lineups too and get a little different. And I'm going across. You look at the games. We talked about it. You look at teams. Obviously, Portland, they stink right now, right? So, and I'm looking. I'm like, wait a minute, Brandon Ingram, 7,300. I'm going, wow, that seems pretty low. So I'm thinking, I'm like, this guy's averaged almost 50 DK in the last 3 games. He's going for 7,300. And I'm like, you know what? I'm playing him. So for that, for number 1, usage rate, number 2, his points over the last 3, and number 3, he's going up against Portland. It's a 10 o'clock game, so I know Ghost won't see it, but I know I'll see it. So it also gives me a little skin in that game later too. So I'm just, the one difference between you two guys is I'm throwing Brandon Ingram in my core. That's the only difference for those specific reasons.
I love him tonight. I mean, he only played 26 minutes last game, coming back from injury, but he'll be closer to 30. He'll be closer to 30 tonight.
Yep.
Pelicans are playing for playoffs. He should not be 7,300 on DK.
No, I was really, really surprised when I seen that. And like you said, Adam, he comes back from injury, and even though he only played 26 minutes, scored 42 DK. Like,
he'll be
what I mean?
Like 30 tonight because they'll need him for the playing game. They need to get him ramped up for probably 40 minutes for the playing game. And
that's and again, it's what we've all been saying. You heard Adam talking about it. It's specifically look at what's coming on, right? B, yeah, I agree. Very underpriced, very, very underpriced, 100%. So let's get some props for profit. Let's get to some prop market, and again, many different plays you can go with. Adam's got a lot tonight, which I like. So we're gonna start with him. And again, you're right to Jokic. Again, didn't you have, what was the one the other night? You had 40 and a half?
Yeah, I think it was 30. It was the exact same number. And it's exact, like it didn't move. It didn't move. I mean,
and he went off.
There's nobody in the Indy front court, guys. Nobody. No. Goga Bitadze is not standing up to Nikola Jokic in a must-win game for the Nuggets. Like, the Nuggets win tonight, they're the 5th seed. It's a massive game, and they can't afford to stumble against teams like the Pacers.
There will be no Goga slander on this show.
Listen,
we got a Goga?
I like Goga, but he's not going to stop Jokic. Let's be real.
There will be no Goga slander on this show.
He can be as good as he wants. He ain't stopping Jokic from hitting 40.
He's basically the 5th best center in the league at this point.
Is that ahead or behind Sengun?
No, he's definitely behind Sengun.
Is he behind Mason Plumlee?
No, he's definitely ahead of Mason Plumlee. I'm 5'7", and I could be a better setter in the NBA than Mason Plumlee.
I think so too. But wait, speaking of, what about Lopez last, like going off against a like? I'm like, yo, dude.
Lopez is the truth, man.
He's good for those games every now and again, man. That's just random, like Brooke Lopez is just cooking from the corner.
Man.
You can't name a guy that's that strong on the block. Interior defense demands lit, and then he runs up the court. He eventually gets there. He eventually gets there, and then he just drains a three and just walks on right back to the post to defend his rim. Like it's absolutely it's so fun to watch.
And he's, man, I hate to say it, and I don't like to be stereotypical, but he's a weird looking dude, bro. Like, you talk about hate to face kind of guy. Like, he's just, I don't know, man. I hate to say it, but I'm like, am I watching like Herman Munster out there on the court, just in a uniform or something? Like, he is just proportioned really weird, but I'll tell you what, he's stuck it in our ass. So what am I going to say?
He looks like he should be really uncoordinated until he drains his first three, and then you're like, oh, what the hell is this?
And his shot looked good. Like, I was like, whoa, look at the rotation on that thing.
He can hit it.
Crazy, man. Crazy. But getting right back, here's another. This is a 27.5 for Bam, plus points and rebounds is low, man.
Guys, he averages 29. Averages 29. Boston just lost Robert Williams. You got Daniel Tice and Grant Williams trying to defend Bam Adebayo tonight. This is a massive, massive game. It's not the best fantasy game because these teams are going to play slow. They're more defensively oriented. So, hey, if I'm not going to play somebody for fantasy, I'll get exposure at the book. This is minus 110 is a joke. If it doesn't hit, it doesn't hit. But that should be like minus 140, minus 150. I couldn't believe that.
This is one of those bets too, Al. If it doesn't hit, there's a reason why. Either he left the game for injury. Like, if he plays, exactly.
If he plays his normal run against Daniel Tice, he'll smash that number.
God, I think I might. DK special. I love these, man. Look at this. Joker, 30 and 14. They're very attainable, man.
Yeah,
for plus 330.
I took we were talking off air. I took this one versus Charlotte. It was 30 and 16 boards. Hammered the boards. The only reason he missed on the points is his first rotation. Aaron Gordon shot 7 for 11, and Jokic just got out of the way. Again, must-win game. Fighting for many, many things this season, seeding, MVP race, whole 9 yards. Everything's in front of Jokic right now. If you're going to give me plus 330 on this, I'll take that.
Listen, these numbers are really, really low. Again, and you watching what they're playing for and watching what their consistency level is, you just have to play it. So speaking on the DK special, this isn't really a DK special, but again, 30 plus points from Garland and Luka. So listen, plus 600 is a really nice buy-in, right? And I always look at these numbers to where guys are just a hair off, right? So Garland, 4 of the last 5, is only 3 points away from 30 points. He was 29, 28, 25. He's right there. Luka has been over 30 the last 2. In a game that I feel is going to be very high-paced, going to score a lot of points. Obviously, Luka's going to even do more than normal tonight. But again, 30 plus, very attainable to me. And then I thought these two were really, really easy looks. Now, Lamelo has been going off from 3-point. Rozier, I've been playing both of them. Rozier's been kind of killing me. LaMelo's been pretty consistent. And to get him at plus 140, in my opinion, for over 3.5, I think I hate to say it, but to me, it's a bargain because, number one, guys, by listening to me, I'm always looking at attempts, 24 attempts in the last 2 games, right? He's been over this number twice in the last 2 games, which means he's 2 for 2, right? He's been over this number 4 in the last 5 games, right? And his attempts, okay, he's 11, 12, 14, 19. I mean, listen, it's very simple to me on why I did this, right? 45 attempts. Out of those 45 attempts, he's been over every single time. So, again, I like this a lot because of the number one, the attempts and the consistency. And then I'm going to go right in that same game. And I'm going to go run the other side to RJ Barrett. Whenever you're playing as Charlotte Hornets, people score points, right? Over 1.5 to me, it's not getting 2 3-pointers is not going to be an issue, right? When you look, number one, the way the game's going to be played. Number 2, the way that the Charlotte Hornets cannot defend, right? And you look at RJ's numbers. Again, he's not a big 3-point guy, but he's consistently hitting at least one. And again, 3 of the last 4, he's been over this number. And his attempts, again, you look at it, he has 25 attempts in 4 games. So he's going to shoot some threes. And again, over 1.5, that just means he has to hit 2 for plus money. Again, I'm all in plus 100. Ghost, still any numbers up? Did any numbers come up from those games?
No, they're scared.
Both
are scared.
to
I don't see any OKC, Sacramento, or Houston for you guys listening up. Bet
OKC, they're not going to put on until man gets ruled in or out.
Yeah. So what I do like, I like the Suns minus 4.5.
Yeah,
it's not gonna be a pop, but I like the Suns, and that you guys know how much that pains me to say because it's the Warriors, but the Suns are the team that I bet on the most. So Suns minus 4.5, I do like that, and I like the Kings minus 3. I really want to take Miami, but I just can't do it. So if you guys don't get burned by Miami as much as I do, then take Miami plus 5. But these are going to be my 2 spreads that I post on the sheet, and then the props. I have a ton of Rockets,
just waiting now,
Sacramento and Thunder props, but like Bet365 up here is the book that we use, and they have them, but MGM sees everyone doesn't have them yet. So when they do come up, on my sheet, let me actually just check it. I have Jayshawn Tate over 11.5 points. If that's what it reopens at. That makes absolutely no sense.
Over 11.5?
Jayshawn Tate's points prop was 11.5. That just made I don't get it.
DK does have some Rockets up. They have
Tate's at 11.5.
Oh, they have Tate at 12.5 for minus 150. So it did jump once it reopened.
I got it at 11.5 at minus 105 this morning.
Wow,
man, you got some good value there, dude.
Hell,
so it was that, and then Kevin Love over 27.5 PRA was at even money, so plus 100.
I love that.
I don't know. He's not starting. I'll bet down, but
he's not starting. That doesn't work.
I don't want him to start. I don't want him to start. It does not
work me in the least.
No, I'm hoping they move Market into the 4. That's what I want.
They put Moses Brown. They put Moses in the starting lineup.
But the Cavs do that all the time. Like when they start Ed Davis and then the guy ends up playing like.
I was gonna say they started Ed Davis. He plays like 3 minutes.
He ends up playing like 13 minutes, 10 of which are in garbage time when they're getting blown off the court. Like it's just
exactly.
They do that all the time. So
yeah.
Do we think Luka? I think
Luka. I say yeah. Booker is probably the one I'm a little hesitant on. I'd let those.
Now that CP3's back, and you know what I mean. So I'm more. I go Luka for me personally.
I would go Luka over. I don't know if you have if you can. Booker feels like an under to me, but it's scary to bet under Booker points in a game like this.
I have Book at 27.17. So
look at that. Look at that.
That's gonna be a no bet for me. But
no, thank you.
Yeah, that's gonna be a no bet, but it's 27.17.
Melton, DeAnthony Melton, 12.5 points.
I want to take the Grizz. I want to take the Grizz also, but Spurs are out here fighting for their lives. So, and I never bet against DeJounte Murray, but
yes, you can't do that, man.
Can't bet against DeJounte Murray. Oh, I also like the Raps minus 2.5. That is, I don't know if I said Kings and Suns. But Raps minus 2.5 at home. Nick Nurse playing negative bench players. There's no chance the bench sees this game.
No,
and I absolutely love that.
Minus 3.5.
Minus 2.5.
2.5.
Getting 3 at home, man. That's just the disrespect.
What are they doing out there, man?
Against the T-Wolves. T-Wolves have been reeling. I like the spot for the Raps a lot. And the T-Wolves are pretty much locked in that 7 spot. Raps are out here fighting for their lives to not play in the play-in.
Scraping and crawling.
Yeah.
ICP.
Rooting for a Dallas dub. That way the Raps get another game up on the Cavs. And I think they pull this off.
I like it.
Even if it's a greasy OT win where Siakam thinks he's got 4 fouls out of 5, but it's
hey man,
still
hilarious. Whatever gets the job done.
Adam, what was that? Was that you last night? You were like the winner's overtime. Did you tweet out something or write something in?
Oh, that was the night of it was the same night, but it was the Portland OKC game.
No, we will not talk about that game. We will not be discussing that game.
The roster
Trey Man
shift
got
was
ruled out. It ruined
insanity.
every Trey Man sitting that game out for no apparent reason.
Jacked everything up. And of
Was
course, it goes to
it
OT.
messed everything up, and it goes to OT, bro.
It was brutal. The winning score on
Indiana
DK was literally
short some
Joker.
bodies, man.
Telling
Indiana is short some bodies out there. It's gonna be Goga's gonna post. Did you bet Joker 30 and 14? That's what Goga's dropping.
Oh,
Okay.
Goga's gonna drop 30 and 14.
We'll revisit that.
Yeah, we're gonna see. Yeah, we'll see.
But I might come off one of the OKC guys for an Indiana Pacer because they are down some serious bodies now. No Brissett. No, I didn't check my phone, but I think it was Isaiah Jackson when I saw it before.
Isaiah Jackson.
Yeah.
Tony, I told Ghost the other night the winning lineup that night was literally Joker and 7 pieces from.
That's so gross. That's so gross.
It was over 400 on DK. I don't know. Wow. You rarely see scores that high.
I was going to say, wow.
It was
imagine
like
being that guy getting 385 and you lose. It's like, what?
Ghost got 370 and barely snuck in.
Ain't that crazy?
I had min cash with 370. It was wild.
370. Like, what the hell?
Jesus Christ. That's unbelievable.
OG grades out so well tonight.
I love OG. I'm absolutely
OG grades out so well tonight. I love it.
Love that name.
Anunoby. He's gonna like
OG,
you said, he ain't
baby.
leaving the court. Leaving the court.
Usman Garuba. This guy's gonna outscore Joker.
Oh, look at that. We'll leave it that.
He's gonna put up like 70, man. We got up like 72 DK.
Yeah, try and be nice and not talk about the MVP and stuff, and then you're just over here hammering me with
what me, man?
Hey, the Warriors are playing chess when everyone else is playing checkers because now they're gonna get a first round matchup against Rudy Gobert and the Utah Jazz, and that's gonna be a quick 4 games.
Hilarious.
The way that they're playing,
that'll be a fast.
That's gonna and they get to avoid Phoenix. So that's a that was a chess move by the Warriors.
Absolutely.
Even though it just fully had to do with Steph's ankle giving out, but it is.
Now I just need my Nuggets to stay out of the 6th slot.
I think they take 5, and it solidifies. It should already be solidified, but it'll just help the Joker MVP conversation too about the whole seeding thing and this and that. So we know that went against Steph last season. So it's.
I don't want to hear more about seeding because the records aren't that far apart.
Now you know how I felt. Now that it's your boy, you know how I felt last season with Steph.
You were right last season.
That's what it was. It was just
tired of hearing about that. Jason Tatum, like the first 3 months of the season, don't exist.
Yeah, that too. It's just Nuggets grab 5.
It's been that way for a long time.
It has been.
Nuggets take the 5 seed. Utah's playing like booty, bro. They have no idea what they're doing out there.
25-point lead, man.
Yeah,
25 points. Donovan Mitchell's out here taking timeouts they don't have, looking like Chris Webber.
Oh, I was just going to say it, looking like the Fab Five.
That was tough.
The ref even tried to ignore him. He's like, dude, don't take it. And he just kept screaming. He's like, all right, I got to tee up then.
Yeah, that was tough. Man. That was tough. But
Spino, what are you doing, bro?
Hey, man, sometimes
I just want to see clips
on your shoulders, man. That's what happens.
I want to see clips Memphis first round.
I don't think Memphis wants to see that. They're not going to enjoy that.
I do. Series. That's exactly why I want to see it.
They're not going to enjoy that
because I don't want Golden State facing Memphis in the second round.
That'd be a fun series.
Back healthy, man. Look out. That's all I got to say.
That'd be fun.
That's all I got to say. All right, boys. Everybody for checking in. As always, man, listen, Win Daily Sports, make sure you're subscribing. Make sure you're following us. Make sure you're hitting that like button. And make sure you're following us on all social formats. Make sure you're reading those articles that drop every single day. We got, man, boys, we're a week away. Baseball's going to be dropping next week. It should be fun. I'm already getting pumped up. I know Adam's getting pumped up. Nick's going to be chilling with a mojito on Fajita Friday.
That's my off season. That's my off season.
And cheering us on, which is great. We're going to have a big fan and Ghost, which is all good. But as always, everybody, thanks for checking in. Thanks for the support. And get those winning tickets up, man. Let's everybody cash. Have a good night. And we'll catch you right back here, same time.